Uh, I do actually want to show you the agenda and the joke first today, so I can explain something. Guys, please don't make me do that 1,000 times. Okay, we need to work on sampling well, and it's just going to be long because sampling process takes a minute. This looks short, but it's not. Identify and describe are you guys putting funny things up there? No, okay. Identify and describe the design implementation of random sampling processes. Okay, so this is good ones. And then practice these processes on a dog show situation that I stole from CPM. One of the things about your textbook, the hardcover one, is it's a college textbook, which is great. It doesn't have any of the like little projecty things that CPM has. I don't love the CPM book for stats, but there are a few things in it that I stole that are kind of more like, hands-on projecty things. Anyway, this might be my favorite joke of the year. So I don't know. I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that one. But anyway, okay. Because they're really, really paranoid. I don't know. Really love that one. Okay, let's be clear. This homework is not due till Friday because you have a test. So work on that after you study. Okay. All right. Oh gosh, so funny. All right. Random sampling. Is a way to obtain a sample through using a choice process. Random sampling is a way to obtain a sample through using a choice process, meaning some kind of randomness is involved. So yesterday we talked about convenient sampling. That's just asking people nearby. That's not random. The voluntary response sample, definitely not random. So this is the way to do it and actually get good results. And if we do random sampling, it allows us to generalize our findings to the whole population. Okay, let me give you an example. If I want to know, I want to survey kids about riding their bikes to school, do you think it would be a really good idea for me to go ask kids right around the bike rack? No, it's going to be a biased sample, right? So I need to figure out a way to ask randomly. If I ask randomly, then I can take my findings, maybe something like percentage of kids that ride their bikes to school, and I can apply that to the whole school. Okay, there are 3 ways that you can take a random sample that College Board will accept in your FRQs. So they're going to say, describe a random sampling process, and you can choose any one of these. I'm going to teach you how to do all of them. Okay, the hat method. That sounds kind of lame, but it's really the hat method. Put names or numbers Put names or numbers corresponding to names or objects on identical slips of paper. Okay, we're not really going to act this out too much, but this is what you would say to College Board about how you were going to do the hat method. You would put names on slips of paper, identical slips of paper, or you put numbers corresponding to names or objects on identical slips of paper. You would put the slips of paper into a hat and draw your sample, mixing in between. The chosen slips are your sample. Does this just make sense to you? Like put numbers in a hat, pull out number two. Number two is like the second person on the list, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I want to mention something very important. The hat method is without replacement. Which means that if number one is Mrs. Talbot and you draw number one from the hat, you're not going to put the hat number one back into the hat and shake it. You just might draw Mrs. Talbot again, and Mrs. Talbot probably doesn't want to take your survey multiple times. That wouldn't give you very much information. All righty. Okay, hat method. That is the simplest one. It's the one most people choose to use, not for real. Everyone uses technology for real, but when you're describing to College Board, people like to say the hat method. Okay, number two, technology. And when I say technology, we're talking graphing calculators, but you can also use a like random number generator website. Okay, label each hold on, I just messed up. Label each individual 1 to n. So for example, in this class, it would be like 1 to 31. What I mean by n is the total number of things that you have. So label each individual. It doesn't have to be a person, by the way. If you're surveying, it has to be a person. But if you're measuring something, it could be an object. This also is without replacement. Okay, pause there. Find your calculator, wherever that may be. This is the only time we're going to use the calculator in the whole chapter. I know, math class. And I want you to hit the math button been a while since you've hit the math button. Yeah, math, enter, enter. Used to do that a lot. But anyway, hit the math button. It's right underneath alpha, which is green on most of them. And then scroll over to probability. This is where we're going to be working on these bottom ones here. And what we're interested in is this very bottom one. This is random integer with no repeats. Random integer with no repeats will give us our sample as long as we tell it where to start and stop. So let's say if you go to rand it no repeat, it will tell you what's the lowest number it wants you to choose. So let's say I want to choose 5 of you from this class. I would say the lower would be 1. So student number 1. The upper would be 31 because there's 31 kids in this class, and I want 5 students. And then unless you have a brand new calculator, if you have a brand new calculator, we might have the same thing. Do we have the same thing? Okay, so we're gonna have to seed our calculators, which means tell it where to start in the random number table, but we don't have time at the moment. So just know that's what you would do. It would be, let me see if I can remember how to do it. What? 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 You're supposed to have different ones for me. Oh, okay. If we all have the same thing, it's because our calculators are brand new out of the box. Oh, it can be. And then it would just give you a list of 31 numbers, so you could choose the first 5. No, the lower would be the lowest number you want it to pick. The upper is the highest number you want it to pick. And then n is how many numbers you want. Okay, anyway, hold on for that. I'll figure out the instructions for seeding our calculators in a minute. Okay, last one is table D, which is a random number table. You have it in your packet, going to hate it. So anyway, this is the process for that. Label each individual 1 to n with the same number of digits. Okay, so that means that if I were to do this class, the first person on the list would not be 1, they would be 0, 1. Because the last person on the list is 31, so each number would have to have 2 digits. Okay, step 2 would be choose a random line. This says consecutive, by the way. again, you're gonna hate this. I'm sorry to tell you, the table D thing's awful. And you can write a strongly worded email to the College Board and tell them to get rid of it. But for now, we have to learn how to do it. Okay, so we're not done with the notebook actually yet. So this bit is done. I know, I'm sorry. You're really gonna be upset, but nothing I can do about it. I just work here. I want you to just look at the, just write that, please. Okay, after you get this written down, you can set your notebook aside for a minute and grab your blue pages and find the first entry because you don't have any idea what a simple random sample is. So I have to tell you what that is. Okay. What we're going to do in this box is we're going to write basically the three methods in general. So I want you guys to look back at the three methods real quick that we wrote. What do they all have in common? What's the first step in all of them? What's the first step in all three of the methods? It's labeling. Exactly, labeling. So okay, step one in all of those three processes is to label from one to whatever. There's a vocab word for this. It's called creating a sampling frame. It's just basically a list, a numbered list. So step one, create a numbered list. Okay, what was step two in all of them? To choose, right? So randomly select unique numbers up to your sample size, which means Whatever sample size you want to have, that's how many unique numbers you want to be. And then you just have to match those numbers back up to your list to figure out who your sample is. Okay, so list, make a list, numbered list, randomly choose unique numbers, match those unique numbers back up to the list so you can tell what your sample is. Good? Okay, so now we're actually going to do it using the table. It's going to be bad. Okay, so find your sampling frame. It's in your packet. You have so many things going on right now with papers and notebooks and things. Okay, and part of this has already been done for you. So this is your sampling frame. Pretend you're at a dog show, guys. You're interested in the typical weight of a dog at the show. There are a bunch of different resource pages in here, but we're just focusing on the first one where it says alphabetically. And they've given you a sampling frame already. Each dog has been numbered in a list. Do you all see that the first thing has been done for you? Okay, now it says use table D to obtain a simple random sample of 15 dogs listed alphabetically. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, zero, zero, one to 118. I need you guys to write that and then think about it. Why is it 001 to 118? Yes, because 118 has 3 numbers in it. So if you're using table D, we wrote that all of the numbers have to have the same number of digits. So when we look at this list, I don't want you to see 1. I want you to see 001. Okay. Label dogs 001 to 118. Okay, now we're going to randomly select a line in table D. How many lines are there? 35. Okay, so I'm going to do rand int 135 what? Let's talk about what this will do. Don't do the same thing as me. We're all going to do this together. Trust me, you don't want to do your own thing. Why would I do 135 1? Somebody explain to me why I chose these numbers. 135 1. I want to know randomly which line to start at. So if you look at table D's instructions, it says number 2, choose a random line. So I want a 1 line between 1 and 35. Okay, so we're going to start at line 26. Okay, this is where things are going to get spicy. What? Everyone got the same thing because our calculators are brand new. It's okay. Let's not worry about that right now. Okay, there are 35 lines in the table. So I chose one line, one number from 1 to 35 randomly. My calculator did 26. You guys do not want to do a different line than me. This is too hard. I promise you, we need to all do the same together. This is not one of those choose your own adventure moments. Okay, everybody find line 26 and get something erasable. Okay. It will set in with you just how horrible this is in about 10 seconds. Okay, the first three, this is bad. I don't love this. It just is what it is. We have to do it, move on. Okay. The first three-digit number in line 26 is 638. We have a dog 638. No. What is our range of dogs? 001 to 118. Now do you see how terrible this is going to be? Okay. So that's not going to work. Okay. My next dog is dog 705. My next dog is 382. Neatness counts here. My next dog is 480. My next dog is 390. By the way, I don't plan out what line we're going to start at, so I have no idea how long this is going to take. This is just old technology before graphing calculators. Okay, now, did you guys get two numbers at the end? Okay, so the next number would be 783. Uh, 056. Okay, so just so we're clear, the next one's 374, correct? Uh-huh. Yeah. Because it says find 15 dogs. We only found one. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay, real quick, just to check myself, does it end evenly? Okay. $71? Oh, and then 127 also? Oh, dang it. I got so excited. But you're so good at it. Okay, what will really be torture is when you find one, but not this far. I did not. You're ahead of me. What I was just saying is if we get one that's a repeat, I'm gonna be very upset. Yeah. $48's the next one. She is so good at this. I have found her like weird inner calling. Because there's not any in the rest of this row, but it ends evenly. It does? Okay.
You're not doing it right.
It's in line 32.
You're about to get 80 right now.
Yeah, I got
And line 32.
Hang on.
Line 32.
Put the brain in the back.
You got 22.
Put the brain
You got 56.
Isn't it 56 one already though?
What happens when I get to the bottom? When I go back? What happens when
I'm behind you. I don't even know what's happening.
you guys got 86? Well, 38.
What? Did I screw up? No. Was one of them 500? But 56 we already had up here. 56. We already had it. 56. What? Yeah, you go up to top. Did you get 87? $38 next. What? Did you get 13? 13? Thank you.
Oh, yes, I did.
How many do we have though? Is 93 the next one? We already have 93? I can't hear myself think. Already got 93 though. Yeah? No. Oh no, we just need 15 numbers. I thought I only have 13. Josh, do you have more than me? What am I doing? I can't hear because your class is distracting me. Isn't does it end evenly at the end of this? Okay. Thank you so much. $105. What? Right here. This is the end, 105? Okay. It is? Okay, so. Yeah, why do I only have 14? No, that only makes 14.
There's one right after. 105, 117.
Did you guys end on 117?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we need to do next, we're not gonna do this right now, but what we would do next, let's pretend that we are going to finish this project. Can you guys tell me, we're not gonna finish it, that's okay. Can you guys tell me the weight of dog number 117? Flip to the dogs. Find me the weight of dog number 117. Okay, don't write it down, we're just doing the life of pretend. What would be the weight of dog number 56?
28.
Okay, so you would write all of their weights down over here, and you would add them together and divide by 15, and that would give you your average weight from a simple random sample. Okay, that was the worst way, I promise you got the worst part out of the way.
I should know that.